You, me, and us.
Hello!
Hello!
How is Holly doing?
Holly's doing good. My room is a bit of a mess right now, just because I haven't put any of my clothes away.
It's clean though. The clothes are clean.
Yeah, I mean, to a point. To a point. And how are you doing, Miss Jamie?
I am doing great. My creativity seems to blossom more so during the springtime. The writing is coming along swimmingly. I'm very happy about it. The more I write, the more I just feel I can do anything, if that makes any sense. It's so strange to just be writing and then editing and having people read your work and kind of go, oh, right, I created this. So I'm very much looking forward to the festival. It's going to be T-minus 2 months. Yeah, I guess I go to Calgary in June, and my third and sort of final, in quotes, draft is due next week. But my instructor's really good about calming everybody down, aka me, the ones that are like, oh my god, this is not a final product, it's okay, this is the process. But it's, you know, every time I'm writing, I'm like, oh, for some reason I get that feeling like it could be that much more. I can take it down this avenue. But the character development I'm finding right now is the toughest. I'm okay with where it's at right now, I guess, but I feel like I can just go even further with it. So we'll see what'll happen. I'm new to writing, and I'm just happy that I found a new creative outlet. Writing is fun, especially when you're frustrated about other stuff.
Yeah, why don't you start us off today, Jamie? Why don't we get right deep into it?
Okay, right down deep into the nitty-gritty is what we're gonna do now. Okay, oh there, kids? Yeah, I just signed with a new agent just a month ago. My brand new first agent, so I'm very happy and excited about that. But it's the lack of being seen and not getting booked for auditions that I'm just sort of at the point where I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. Now, I hate using the word normal, but is it sort of normal feeling to have as an artist? I mean, you've had agents before.
Yeah, I have an agent right now. I haven't been sent out in probably 4 months. To be fair though, November, December, January, February are very hard months for film because they don't do a lot, especially because they want to shoot outside and people don't like standing outside in the cold. And that might also not be the case. My agent's probably submitting me to things. I just am not grabbing hold of the audition, and it's really unfortunate, and it's kind of just a way to move your brain into the thinking that those are things you can't control. Don't you love that, Jamie?
Oh my god. Oh, that just puts the lid on that anxiety pot for me. It sure does.
Yes. Not.
We
always want to be able to control things, especially as actors, because we're used to having a script being like, all right, this is how we're going to make this work because I have this control. But when it comes to at least agents and auditioning, and even self-submitting yourself, you have no control over whether or not they're going to see you. I mean, sure, get a nice headshot, maybe start adding more training to your resume, but that only goes so far. If they're not looking for your look, then you're not going to be seen.
And what's your take on the exercising of the acting muscle, the creative muscle, in the sense of doing classes? Because I think where I stand right now is I've heard so many horror stories about, you know, they don't want to know that you're taking all of these classes because then if you're just considered, you know, a class bunny, whatever that means, and you're solely just doing classes, but you're not being booked or you're not being seen, you know, that really says a lot too. But then on the other hand, I'm like, well, if I'm not being seen at all, I just don't want to sit on a bump on a log for 6 months without further training. And I don't mean going back to, an institution and getting, studying again for 4 years, but when I was at the Second City as well, even being able to have a weekly class, I still felt like the juices were still flowing.
I think people who say that taking too many classes, they are just saying bullshit. Classes are hard. Taking a class and committing to something is hard work. Because you're not just showing up for 2-3 hours on a Monday night. You're preparing and you're doing probably work outside of class, which is a big part of it, that you're also paying to do. So when people are like, oh, I don't want to be doing too many classes, like, I just don't think it looks good, that's just an excuse. I'm sorry. Because I don't believe you can ever stop learning. Like, this is, even classes that I've gone to with newer people, or people who are just starting out in their acting, I still learn so much watching them, because they're picking up on everything, and you're seeing what hits and what doesn't hit, because they literally don't know anything. So they're just trying to absorb everything, and you're like, oh, when you say something like this and you say all these things, this is the one main thing that's sticking out for them. So it's like such a great learning experience, and I don't think you can really ever stop learning.
Definitely. Me, learning is about dipping into different pools. So for example, I got a harmonica from a friend of mine as a gift. I have this harmonica that I'm like, why not start learning how to play this as another means of putting that on your resume, but also for self-fulfillment?
Yeah. I think it's always good to add more skills on your resume. The more you know, the more castable you are, at least.
I mean, is there anything out there that you haven't tried? Because I feel like you try and do everything.
Okay, so I'm going to say this, and it's going to probably sound like I'm backtracking. I do think it's important to have a lot of skills. Saying that, I also think you need to know how to market yourself and know what your end goal is. Because as someone who is a producer, I'm a musician, I'm a comedian, nobody wants to be that person with 1 million slashes in their title. Because it kind of looks sloppy almost, and it's like, well, there's no way that you could be professional at every single one of these. It's just, there's no possible human way to do that. You can only take on so many skills and do them so extremely well before things start failing. So that's almost like a warning sign when people see comedian / writer / producer / actor. Well, I'm stumbling on my words, but you know what I'm saying. You as an artist, I think, yes, take in as many skills as you can, but also focus on the main thing that you want to be doing. And it might change. Last year I wanted to just do comedy, and I was very focused. So whenever someone asked me what I did, I would say, oh, I do improv comedy, and I host a comedy show. I do comedy. But just recently I had someone ask me what my profession was, and I said actor, because that is something that I really want to focus a lot of my energy on. And that doesn't mean I'm not a comedian. That doesn't mean I'm not a musician. It just means that as a career right now, I'm an actor. You have your resume, and your skills are going to be on there. Or you're focusing on being a writer, and you're doing stuff, and then also oh, hey, also I can act, so I can do this thing. But you do need to have a main focus.
Oh, my God.
What?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I just have to, I think where I'm at right now is I just have to find a focus. I feel like I'm focused on so many things, or I feel like I should for some reason. But that it's not coming from outside external stresses. It's coming from me. It's coming from, I'm the one that has to tame the tiger. Find that focal point, because I think my creativity seems to just bounce around from one thought to the next, and it's oh, I want to do this, and then I'll read an article, or I will watch something new on Netflix or something, and it'll completely strike another form of creativity, and I'm like, oh, but maybe I should be doing that, and I'm trying to omit the word should from my vocabulary. Really, I think what comes down to all of this angst for me is just finding out what my focus is, what Jamie's main focus is. And I think you seem to have that, which is why I gravitate towards you, and which is why I think we work so well creatively. So I look at you and I'm like, right, okay, so Holly's got this, and this. Perfect. And I'm going towards that. Cool. I'm going to use her as, my muse or my motivation. Well, I think it's also good to have people who motivate you and who inspire you, and why not be, your friends? Or, I mean, isn't that what this whole industry, I mean, you would have that in any other field, right?
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
Wouldn't you have somebody that you look up to?
I do want to say as well, it's so easy to get distracted on something, as you're saying, is you watch something, you're like, oh, cool, I want to write something like that, or cool, because yes, things that are new and things that are that just spark are going to be exciting, But if we actually want to do this as a career, we
Mm.
need to be okay with also the things like not getting auditions. We need to be okay with that and be like, I'm still an actor though. Just because I'm not getting auditions right now and my agent isn't sending me out, or I'm not picking up auditions, or I'm going to auditions and I'm not booking anything, I'm still going to push through because I know the parts of the actor that I love, and that's the career I'm focusing on. And that's how successful people are, is because they're so focused on the one thing that even when there's like little sparks of, oh, this thing's cool, like, I could just start doing this thing now. Like, that would be cool. You're never going to be on your path if you keep, like, finding side routes. I will also say, maybe this is a really stupid metaphor, but just think of, like, Little Red Riding Hood, you know? She was, like, following her path. Her mom was like, follow that path. And then when she strayed because there was beautiful things in the forest, her grandmother got eaten by a fucking wolf. So...
That's all we have to say about that. So whatever path you choose, may it be paved.
Yes.
Or evenly graveled. And may your grandmother not come into contact with a wolf. But you can be Little Red Riding Hood. Maybe we all find the Little Red Riding Hood in us.
I also wanted to share something. As we've been saying every episode, we are reaching out to you guys. We want to hear your stories. What are your struggles with your agent? Or, like, why aren't you getting auditions? Or how do you feel like you can improve? Like, we want to hear that, especially this episode, even though it's kind of all over the place. My friend Amanda, hi Amanda, if you're still watching, she was she was like, oh, this is so much what I need right now, because, we're all feeling that. So I asked her to share her own story of exhaustion. She said that, I guess last week, she had a deadline for, like, her work, and so she was working on that, and then on Monday was told that, like, Wednesday she also had a spot on a stand-up show. So she had to, like, prepare this huge bit, as well as, like, doing this deadline and getting all that done. And so she ended up finishing the deadline, like, at 3 p.m. on Wednesday before she had to submit it, and still going to do the show, and was just so exhausted by the end of it. But she did it. She went out and did it. Yeah. And she said massages
Amanda,
help, so.
I'm giving you a thumbs up. Massages help. They absolutely do. Oh, thank you, Amanda, for sharing that with us. And that's the type of those are the types of stories. Those are the types of feedback we want to hear from you. So, Amanda, if you want to keep writing us in, or anybody else, please share with us. We'd love to share your stories on our next episode or episodes to come.
Yeah, so guys, I know this was a long one and we went different places, but thank you for staying on board.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in, and until next time, keep that Little Red Riding Hood girl alive inside yourself.
Okay. Bye!
Bye! See you next time!
You are so special. Maybe you don't think so. If we both took a moment to listen to one another, then maybe we could know what we both know. You, me, and us. You, me, and us.
Well, I'm here. I am.
Excellent.
And I'll be here until the end of time.
Until the end of time. If anybody's out there
Vancouver
and watching this and wants to teach me how to play the harmonica, I am all for that. Or if it's still gravel, you want to make sure that the gravel all just...
I think you're trying to go with you're going with the road metaphor.
You want to have your road
it's getting lost.
I was like really trying to go with that, and then all of a sudden I was like, nope, you lost it.